Howdy folks, Laxo here. And today, we are going to be taking a look at some World Championship teams. We're just going to be doing some team critiquing today. So I was asked by Rans to critique some of his teams. I said, sure. He said, I'll attack you. I said, cool, wonderful. And then I didn't get to the battle, to view the battle and the attack, and then do the team critiquing before the battle disappeared because I wasn't ready to do a video at that moment in time. I was busy with work and just life in general. But I told him, you know what, send me a copy of your teams, I'll do it then. He said he couldn't. I said, okay, that's fine. Get yourself to the top 50. He said, done. So he got himself to the top 50 so I could take a look at his teams. And we are going to do so right meow. So I went ahead and screenshotted his teams. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be going over his teams, and if I need to make any side notes or anything like that about character abilities, you know, just to pop them up on screen real quick, I'm going to be using this right here, a window, to do so. Just to make it so I can do two things at once. So, first team to note here, we have Team 1. It's not looking too bad. We have the Sodeno Soul Hall. That's perfect. We have Rukia. That's good. Pretty decent front row. Pretty tanky. Back row. I'm seeing a couple problems here. Let's see here. We have a lot of damage, of course. Aizen just by himself brings enough damage. He'll be able to crit for, 40, 50 mil if he can get some really, really good crits. Let's see here. We have... I'm not really a big fan of this War Soul. What I would like to see is maybe a little more tanky of a War Soul here. The front row is good. It has a lot of tankiness. You have the map War Soul that gives, I believe, crit chance. And then you have the back row. You're missing a War Soul here. That's a given. But that's fine. I'm sure you'll replace it with probably a Shattering. War Soul Shattering is pretty good. Next up, we have Aizen. Again, just tons of damage as is. You got the Soyphone War Soul, just a little bit extra damage, a little more extra damage here. You got crit chance here. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. The only thing I'd like to see is maybe swap this War Soul out here for a different, maybe more tanky War Soul. Maybe go with Armor or Vigilance or something like that to help him out. Because if you have him go off, then Aizen go off, you're going to get that huge crit buff. Let's go ahead and pull him up real quick. Kira. So, go ahead and pull this up real quick. If you guys can read this, let's see if I can make this a little bigger for you. There you go. Alright, so, reduces healing, okay. After being critically hit, incoming crit damage is increased by 60%. And then, of course, you have the Map War Soul, which gives a bunch of crit. And then, of course, on top of that, you have the Rukia here as well. So you're going to decrease damage reduction rate by 25 to 30%. Enemy back row. Increase the attack of the ally back row by 20% and crit chance of all ally with the highest attack by 30% for 2 rounds. So you're going to be getting a 30% crit chance off of that. Then you're going to be getting an extra. Let's see here. I'm not sure how much you get from the map. Probably, I'm assuming 20 to 30. So you get an extra 50% crit chance. And then with Aizen in general, you'd be looking at an easy. Let's see here. You'd probably be looking at least 64. So you're right there, as is your overcapping crit chance. So you don't need any more crit chance. So you can go ahead and, you remove Kira, I'd say, since he has healing reduction. Put him on a different team that needs the healing reduction. Right here, it's fine. Yeah, that's a fine War Soul. Put on Shattering here. Put on any other character here. Don't really need much, and you'd be golden. Other than that, looks like a really solid team. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the second team comp. All right. So, looks like you got a little bit of crit here. That's good. Rukia War Soul. That's good. I like that. You're going with the Ashisoga Jizo. That's solid. Gain, okay. Okay, so this is a good team comp. I do like this team comp. Very good. These 3 units together right here, very solid. I like these guys a lot all together. The order is I'm a little curious about the order, because what you could do is you could swap around the order a little bit. If you put Shinji second and then gain the third, what you're looking at is you'd be later on in the battle, of course, you'd have Shinji rage. He would lower the rage reduction rate of the enemy team, so they'd be getting rage slower. And then you can have Gin go, so he would take away the same amount of rage from the enemy team, but they'd gain less and then lose more. So that would help out as is. And then if Ashisoga Jizo rages then he will rage after the fact. And he will have a higher chance of killing an enemy to get more rage back, because, poisoned, get more rage back. And then he could loop. But at the same time, you already have rage reduction on the enemy team, so they'd be getting less rage from the damage brought by Ashisoga Jizo. So what you could do is you could swap these two. Completely up to you, flavor of the month. It doesn't matter. Other than that, team looks good. I like this team comp a lot. Looks pretty nice. Solid. Yes. Yeah. You have rage. Yeah. Very solid team. Like it quite a bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at Team 3. Also, Azura Warsaw, very good, because the way it works, I'm sure I've mentioned this in my videos before, but if you have gain rage, he hits the back row and crits somebody on the back row. He gets rage from, let's pull her up. There we go. He gets rage from the passive, I believe, from Nini, to 80 rage, and removes any immobilization effects. So she gives Gin an extra 80 rage, and then on top of that, he gives the rage back to himself, which means he gets rage from this Warsaw, he gets rage from Nini over here, and then he gets rage from his rage attack. So then he can rage again. I know I'm saying rage like 100 times. Bear with me. So what will happen is he will rage. And then if he hits 3 and crits, then Ashisoga Jizo will rage. Then you'll have the Aizen Warsaw remove the attack and the defense from the enemy team. And then after that, you'll have Gin rage a second time and remove rage again from the enemy team. So at that point, he will cap his rage, so he cannot rage a third time, but that will give enough rage to Ashisoga Jizo to rage again the following turn. So good team comp. I like this a lot. I know it's a little confusing because I explained it, but that's the way it works, and it's a phenomenal team comp. I know because I've ran this team comp myself. It works wonders. That is if you have the Ashura Warsaw. I know free-to-plays like myself, it's a little rough, but, we can work around with it. All right, team comp number 3. Let's see, what do we have here? We have Byakuya. Okay, he has the earrings Warsaw, I see that. Very good. He has the highest base HP in the game, I believe, so it's a good character to put it on. Let's see here. We have a pretty tanky front row. The only problem I'm seeing here is you have a front row attacker here and a front row attacker here. You don't have a way to remove... so I see where he's going here. There's a major flaw I see here. Flaw number 1 is he has a column attacker and a row attacker on a healing reduction team. So first thing he needs to do is remove Aizen from this team. Put on... he doesn't have to remove Aizen. Ichigo should be the first to go. He needs to replace Ichigo with any other unit that attacks 6 units on the enemy team. Or if he really wants to stick with that front row, then he can have somebody that attacks the front row, like Noelle. Noel will work fine. As a matter of fact, he has Noel Warsaw right there. That'll work well. Other than that, he has, again, a front row attacker on a healing reduction team comp. So they're going to be getting 0 heal from these two right here. And then he's going to be only focusing the front row. Another problem is he has Ulquiorra going 5th. He would need to put Ulquiorra probably either going 2nd, or if he doesn't want to put Ulquiorra in the front row, he can put Ulquiorra right here in the in the 4th slot. There's no reason for Eisen to go and then Ulquiorra to go. That's wasted. Let's go ahead and pull up Ulquiorra real quick. Take a look at his rage skill. Reason being, right here, we have deals damage to all, steals 10% of the defense for 1 round. If there is a single target in the field, steal 40% of the defense instead. So he'd be lowering the defense of the enemy team, and then he would have Eisen to follow up and do more damage from that. So having these two as is, there's potential that's being wasted. He needs to go to the front row. Second, remove Ichigo with any other unit that attacks 6 units. I'm just going to pull this up real quick. Let's see here. There are plenty of units. Let's just pull this up. There are plenty of units you can put out that attack 6. For one, you can... Sorry about that. You can grab Hyorinmaru. He's fine. You can grab Ulquiorra. He's fine. You can grab Yamamoto. He's fine. If you want to put on another damaging unit, which you could, but it would be... you don't really need it. You could put Byakuya out there. For another unit that attacks 6, you could put out Tensei Zangetsu. He attacks 6. Other than that, you don't really have too many other options that attack 6. You can put out Toshido. He's more tanky. Maybe he's not more tanky than Ichigo, but he still attacks 6. So you have a lot of choices that you could put out instead of Ichigo. Let's see here. Other than that, not a bad team comp. If you're going to go with the front row team comp, go with the front row team comp. Don't mix that together with a healing reduction team comp as well. So take out Ichigo, take out Eisen, swap Ulquiorra to the front row, and you got yourself a solid team comp. From there, let's move on to team comp number 4. Alright, number 4 here. We have... let's see here. We have Zangetsu. Okay. Alright, so... I've said this a million times in my videos. I don't like putting... Actually, the biggest flaw I see right off the bat is... right here with Stark. So... let's go ahead and take a look at Stark here. You want to put Stark to go in the 4 slot. Why? Take a look at his rage. Deals combat damage equal to 10%. Okay. Attack of each. Okay. Where is it? Deals damage. Triggers each bleed effect on enemies. Fires. So you could have him go after. You could have him go after... sorry, technical difficulties here. You could have him go after Soifon. That's fine. But you'd really want him to go before Soifon and then have... let's pull up this again real quick. And then you'd want Nell to go last. Because... Loneliness, right here. Regenerate percentage of... Okay. After Stark releases a rage attack, the crit chance of all allies increase by 2% for 2 rounds for every stack of bleed on all enemies, to a maximum of 20%. So what is the point of having Stark go last in this lineup when he will have nobody to follow up with all that extra crit chance? Once again, wasted potential. what you should be doing here is, let's go ahead and move this again. What you should be doing here is have Stark go either in this slot right here or in this slot right here. You can put Nell right here. Apply 2 more stacks of bleed on the enemy team, so they'd have 3 stacks, and then you can put this there, and then from that you'd have an extra 6% crit chance, which is nice. Let's see, release rage attack, the crit chance of all allies. Well, 6, and then you'd get the bonus from him to make that 7, and then it would proc more dots on top of that. For each stack on all enemies. Yeah, and then he'd have a percentage chance of proccing even more stacks. So you can get probably close to maybe, I'd say 12 to 20% extra crit chance. So after that, you'd want Soifon to go so Soifon can get those crits. When Soifon gets those crits, it doesn't do much because she procs all the bleed, but with the extra crits, she would do a whole lot more damage as is. So you can mess around with this lineup as you'd like, but one thing is for sure, Stark has got to go before Soifon, because what's the point of giving away all the extra crit chance to no units? So I don't really like that lineup right there. Other than that, we have a very squishy character in the front row. So since you have Zangetsu in the front row, you'd want to put a very tanky Warsaw on him. Let's see here. Okay, Ichigo, you have him with the Vampire Warsaw, Byakuya Warsaw. Good. Let's see here. Lynette, perfect. Have her funnel more rage over to Soifon as well, and increase the, I believe it's rage attack damage. Let's go ahead and find her real quick. All right, Lynette here. Let's see here. Deals damage, enemy column. The ally with the highest attack receives 300 extra rage. Regenerates 30% of the missing HP. Gain 25% extra block chance. So, yeah, you get all the extra rage from that as well. Of all allies, rage skill when damage Lynette takes from it. Yeah, then she recovers, so you'd want to keep her in the front row as well. Okay, with that... that's the row or way you'd want that to go. Also, you want Ichi to go in the 3rd slot. Good, that looks good. Put a tanky Warsaw here, and the rest of this team comp looks fine. Of course, just make those adjustments over here that I said before. Other than that, looks good. I like the team comp quite a bit. I also don't, because you have 3 bleed units on one team. You could take off probably her. If you have Dangai Ichigo, you could put Dangai Ichigo on this team as well. Or not on this team, but on a different team with Nell. Moving on to team comp number 5 here. How long has this video been going on for? 18 minutes. Okay. Let's see here. Team comp number 5 here. So, this is where we have Okiura. Good. This team comp's looking fine. It's a decent team comp. You're really hoping to go first here and kill their damage dealer, I see. Not really a huge fan of the fan Warsaw. It takes a while for the Warsaw to really get going. You would probably, honestly, you'd probably be better just putting a base crit Warsaw on him as is. Not really a big fan of that Warsaw. That Warsaw right there is good. Halle Bell is good. Zangetsu Warsaw, that's fine. Okay, good. You got this Candy King Warsaw. That's good as well. These are fine. Let me take a look here. I feel like you're missing control on this team. So you have a little bit of CC here. You have very little, if any, CC here. No CC at all, and no CC at all down here. And you have a stun here. No real strong, dependable, no rage reduction. I mean, a little bit here. No real CC, a little bit on these three, just a little bit. And you have a lot of kill power here, but it's not enough for me to see this team comp really, really do well. I would like to possibly see Gin on this team. Or not Gin, I mean, Sogyo no Kotori. I'd like to see possibly him on this team comp. That way, if Kazushina can't finish off a unit, then Kazushina will raise the same unit again and one-shot the enemy team all at once. Just one-shot the enemy team outright. Not really too much kill power. I think if you were to put a Warsaw on possibly Ulquiorra here to reduce the rage of the enemy team, that wouldn't be too bad. Or maybe stun them, that wouldn't be too bad. But this is an iffy team because it can be countered. And yeah. I mean, heck, one Kazushini on the enemy team. I mean, this team comp going against this team comp would absolutely wreck this team comp, let's be honest. So, not really a big fan of this team comp, but, I mean, it is what it is. Do what you want. I'll just move on to number 6. Alright, so, Ichigo Hozukimaru. Who else we got? Okay, tankiness here. A lot of CC. Actually, that would be perfect. Why not put Renji on this team comp? Yeah, you can really use a Renji on this team comp. Yeah, that would probably help out quite a bit. Put a Renji on this team comp. He'll be really tanky, and on top of that, you'll have a 6-man CC. So that'll be pretty well as well. Byakuya, that's fine. Ooh, okay, Urahara. And then you got Muramasa. So, ooh, that's tough to say because you're going to get a little bit of shield here if you put Urahara here and then have him go after Byakuya. But if Urahara isn't on like a really, really bleed heavy team, there's really no use to have him on a team comp at all. I mean, yeah, he may reduce the enemy's crit chance by a little bit, but other than that, he's not really going to do much. Decrease the damage rate and crit chance of all enemies by 15% for 1 round. Won't do too much. I still prefer to have any other unit on this team besides him. Once again, a unit like even Toshido would be better, because let's see here, reduces target's crit chance by 20%, critical hit damage by 20%, grants 25%, increased chance to freeze. So honestly, this Toshido would even be better than him. So don't really like to see that. Probably can swap him out and whatnot. Hozukimaru, that's fine. Muramasa, that's fine. Yeah, other than that, I mean, the team comp's fine. Other than that, you have them all kind of in the right spots. So, team comp's fine. I just don't like Urahara. Put any other unit in this slot. Once again, we can go back to the drawing board here and just go down the list of units that are better than it. So, if you want to possibly use him on a team comp, use him on a team comp with Nell and or Gin. I'm sorry, Nell and or Stark and or Soy Phone. Yeah, don't really like him. But a lot of the Brazilian people love using Urahara, though. I've noticed that. And I say it every time. They're just trash team comps. But That's just my opinion. Team comp number 7. So here we have a lot of rage reduction. Not a ton of damage here. You have a lot of rage reduction here. More rage reduction here. You have healing reduction here. This is not a terrible team comp. I think Sogyo would do better on a different team comp. And maybe even Aizen too. Like, this team comp's rough. You could also swap out Yamamoto back over to this team comp as well. It wouldn't be too bad. Or was it? It was another team comp. Wouldn't be too bad either. But let's see here. Oh, you got Mask Warsaw on him. Wow. Don't really need Mask Warsaw on him. He just really has a high crit chance as is. You could put the Mask Warsaw on another unit. Let's see here. What did you have on? Oh, this was the team comp right here. Yeah, you can put Yamamoto on this team comp. That'll help out a lot. That'll really help out a lot. And then you could even put Aizen on that team comp as well, because you have the healing reduction Warsaw on him. So you'd have some really great healing reduction here. Let's see if I can minimize this a little bit. There you go. Really good healing reduction here between these two, and you'd get the benefit of Aizen's... there, I'll pull over this one as well. Then you get the benefit of Aizen's rage reduction. Reduce the rage of enemy targets by 250. That's really good as well. And then, of course, you have his passive, which, as long as there's another Black Tortoise character on the field, reduce all damage by 15%. So that really helps out as well. And once again, the healing reduction as well. So those two would work really well together. And then you can save Sogyo for another team comp. Let's see. Other than that, team comp's not terrible. I mean, I see what you're going for, but Yamamoto's just going to do no damage. He's just there for entirely CC, which I understand. This team comp will work. 9 times out of 10, this team comp will work. But I'm just not a big fan of this back row. You can probably swap around the order in which they attack. You could. No, honestly, that's probably the most optimal way. Because you have damage going first, and then you have rage reduction for the entire team. Rage reduction rate. And then you have just CC for the entire team. So that's probably the correct way to put them in. Don't really need Sogyo. Put Sogyo on a different team that really needs him. Like this team right here. This team comp really needs Sogyo. So put Sogyo on this team. That way you can just let these 3 just reduce rage on the entire enemy team, CC them to death. Don't necessarily need Sogyo on this team comp. Other than that, I mean, very solid teams across the board. Very, very solid teams. I liked them. I didn't check to see, was there a Soul Hall? There was a Soul Hall. Okay, yeah, Soul Hall here. And then, yes, you had Muramasa Soul Hall there. Nice. And then here, okay, yeah, Soul Hall as well. So yeah, very, very, pretty good teams. I liked them all for the most part. None that were really terrible. A couple that I just wasn't a big fan of. So, oh, that's my alarm for work. So, yep, solid team comps. Like them a lot. I hope me having this window on the side and pulling up the abilities of the of each character as I was talking about them to help, you know, get the gears going in your guys' brain. I hope that helps out a little bit. I kind of just thought of it. I'm like, you know what? It would be good just to bring abilities up and go over them as I'm talking about them, so people don't just assume. You know, it's always good to have a visual cue and audio cue at the same time. You know, it helps you remember things, especially males who are very visual learners. So with that, let me know what you guys think. I would like to do this actually to a bunch of these other other top 50 players. I think I've done it to a bunch of them as is. Maybe I could do it to a couple others. Would be kind of fun. Let me know what you guys think. I did it for Rand specifically. I didn't really talk to... I was kind of, you know, nice about it for the most part. All of his team comps were pretty good, though, because he approached me in a very nice way. So, let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'll come back to this and, I don't know, drop the hammer on some of these guys about how terrible these team comps are. So, yeah, once again, join the Discord if you guys like. Link will be in the description. And hope to have another video out here soon. I'm going to be going on vacation here in about a week or two. Once again, my entire month of June and July are really busy. So if I do get content out, I'll probably be before that. So I'll try and get some stuff out. You guys know how dependable I am with getting content out. I took like a month break last video or something like that, but I'll leave it at that, you guys. Hope you all have a nice day. Peace. Peace.